one more time, please.
Yeah.
This is nice. Look at all you. You look great, maybe.
Can't even see you.
You're right. You know, this is more... That's enough. This is sincerely more people than the town I grew up in. Like in this theater right now. I grew up in a place called Mondayman, Iowa. No, you're not gonna do that. No, there's 250 people that live there. You're not one of them. All right. I grew up 3 miles outside of that town on a farm in a double-wide trailer by a river in the woods. Yeah, and I've never done meth. I don't do that. You know? I am missing a few teeth, but that's more Jolly Rancher related. And I go back because my dad still lives there, and I get a little voice in my head that says, Zach, you belong here. You would make a great small town drunk. I would too. I'd yell at a census taker? Oh boy. Hey, quit counting me, I see you counting me. I'm 6 people. All Pacific Islander heritage. But I can't go back. I can't go back there because I don't have the skills it takes to live in the middle of nowhere like that. Perfect example, the forest around my father's house caught fire. You couldn't call the police department. You couldn't call the fire department. They don't exist. He had to call his friend Mike. You have to know a dude to not die in a fire. You have to network in case you're careless with a pizza. It seems unreasonable. I'm the first man in my family to not be a farmer. That's great. That means I don't have to farm. My dad sat me down when I was 8 years old and goes, Zach, never be a farmer. You don't want this life, it's too hard. Which is fine and great, but he like reverse Darth Vader'd me, you know? It's like, don't come to the dark side. My back's all fucked up and I breathe like a pervert. Yeah. 18 years old, he sat me down. I thought my whole life I was gonna be a farmer, and then one day, 18 years old, got to figure out my whole life now. And here's the thing about 18-year-olds, they're real dumb. If you would ask me at 18 years old what I want to do with the rest of my life, I just would have said, continue to have frosted tips. But I went and tried to have a real career and all that, and a real job and whatnot. I got a couple of degrees, one in history and one in communications. Yeah, don't move for that at all. I'm qualified to tell people about things that have happened. And here's something that happened. I got the wrong degrees in college. Growing up in the middle of nowhere, some weird stereotypes, and I assume a lot of you share this one. Old men love ducks. That's true. That's so true. I have 3 grandfathers, all very different people. One's a lawyer, one's a drunk, one's dead, all love ducks. I bring this up for a reason, okay? Because I'm starting to have unwanted and unneeded duck thoughts. I'm driving down the street, a mallard is a valiant bird with a quiet strength and a green head, and I can't stop it. I'm getting older, like the things I used to like sex, danger, and fire. Now I just get jazzed about webbed feet. I turned into my father, because he's not hip. He has no recollection of what's hip, what's cool, what's going on. For example, he called me up, he goes, Zach, you're gonna think I'm real cool. Let's stop right there. Because when an older gentleman says to you, you're gonna think I'm real cool, you're not. He's gonna say something like a sociopath, something like, I was at a garage sale, I saw Sega Nintendo, I said, whoop, there it is, everybody laughed. I don't know what you're talking about. He calls me, Zach, you think I'm real cool? I was driving on the interstate, I started coughing, and I passed out. I woke up going 70 miles an hour on the median. I did not scream. I got back on the interstate like I was James Bond. Okay, I've never seen Moonraker, but maybe that's the one where James Bond almost dies because he has bronchitis in a PT Cruiser. I'm personally a big fan of horror movies. Anyone here like horror movies? When I say that, sometimes I feel like I get a little pushback, you know, like, oh, this guy likes horror movies, he likes blood and gore and violence, which is not true. I like tense situations at a distance. I like to watch them go, oh, that guy's getting hassled by a ghost, and he's the dilly of a pickle, you know? And I have Twizzlers. This is a great Friday. I like this. I have friends that won't watch horror movies with me because they're afraid of horror movies. But horror movies are not real. And we can test this out real quick, all right? Let's see if horror movies are real. Anyone here familiar with an important amulet? No? Okay, horror movies aren't real. Second question. Anyone here familiar with just a regular amulet? All right, horror movies aren't real. And you and I, we know for a fact that we will survive a horror movie because we're smart. We're smart enough to listen to old men at gas stations. It's like, don't go to the lake! That's where those kids die. And you look at his face like, that is a shitty face. That is a face that knows where dead kids are. I'm not going to that lake. Don't go to the haunted batting cages. They were built on top of Native American batting cages. They use every part of the batting cage. Now, I haven't figured out the afterlife all the way, right? I haven't. I still eat shrimp from Target, so there's a lot of things I got going on. But if ghosts do exist, oh, they're the worst people. They're the absolute worst. Like, they're so entitled, like, oh, I didn't want to get murdered. No one wants to get murdered, you self-important ghoul. Get out of here. But I have unfinished business. Doesn't mean you can slam my door at 3 a.m. because you didn't finish all your puzzles. Yeah. Notice how, like, only shitty people become ghosts? Cool people don't become ghosts? No one's cool dies, becomes a cool ghost? Like my grandma's dead. She's not a cool ghost. She'd be the best ghost. She's a phenomenal person. If she was a ghost, we'd be like, oh, I feel a presence. It smells delicious and I feel loved. And there's a check on the table for $6.
One more time for that,